Hey everyone, Artemiy is here. Sorry for being absolutely radio silent on my channel, not publishing content at all. I was just busy with my university work and also not feeling that well. But I think we should discuss about some serious stuff regarding the state of Incredibox community and what has been happening. You cannot deny that it has become even bigger than the last year, with new content creators coming up and showing their creativity around. But as of now, these same new content creators already don't feel that welcomed and want to leave this community. What happened? What caused such a toxic and unpleasant atmosphere in here? In this video, I will talk about some situations that has been happening in the community and address these issues, so the people who have been causing them would finally rethink their actions. For those who might not know, I have been making Incredibox content since 2018, so basically 5 and more years, and up until recently, I honestly never seen the community in such a bad state. I'm talking about community in depth. If you're just a person who plays the game or watches others play it, you probably won't feel like the community is crumbling, but it actually is, little by little. There has been a lot of drama and harassment as of recent, and the situation with Sepes, creator of Sepbox fanmates on Scratch, basically leaving the community for a while, was the last straw for me, and a push to make this video. I will probably be quite late. I wanted to do it at the beginning of October, but university troubles happened, so I had to move on from writing the script. So I think we should start from the beginning, basically the time when the seeds of potential troubles has been planted. For those who are still somehow unaware of what happened, let me explain. So, RB series, or RB, or his real name, Rodrigo, not Mark as a lot of people think, back in April has been revealed to be making not safe for work content involving characters that were minors, sharing this same content with minors on Discord, while also being a minor. Besides that, he also has been very manipulative and toxic with some people and his friends, including Ram and me. Not only that, but there were moments when his fanbase would harass Ram for some unknown reasons. And as a response to the allegations, Rodrigo has just been saying that some drama has happened, not specifying what exactly, that he doesn't feel good and that he will take a break. What hurts me is that to this same day, people are still not aware of what he did and will continue to support his work and make fan arts of his characters, calling it separate the art from the artist. Okay, I can do that, but only if 1. The art was made by multiple people, 2. The author's nasty ideas were not influences for the art, and 3. The art is actually good. None of it applies to our blocks. Rodrigo was the only developer behind it. Well, second option is valid a little, but knowing that he has done porn arts involving his characters from our box kinda makes me question it. And let me tell, most of Rodrigo's mods are not good, objectively the key point. Yes, even armed for the most part. If you want, I would make a video explaining why it is not good, but I would honestly give preference to talk about something positive than touching on topics of this damn mod again. After this situation happened, you cannot deny that it left a big scar on the community, having one of the popular content creators to be exposed. Let's see what one of the citizens think about it.
Well then, I guess we can say that RB sucked balls! Hey!
Thank you for your commentary. Some people after all this happened are now trying to prevent such situations from happening again. The issue is, it caused more damage, which is where we're gonna move on to the next topic. So you probably know such artists as Anka Avarshina, or simply Anka. She has been doing a lot of fan arts dedicated specifically to Incredibox fan-made characters, and more specifically, doing the female versions of these characters, which would give her some harassment from the kids, who see it as something blasphemous. What's even more stupid is that they would use their religion as a weapon against her, which just looks very silly. But the main thing is, some people actually found out that she has a not safe for work account, where she makes not safe for work content, obviously. And because of that, she has been compared a lot of times to RB, just because apparently not safe for work is bad. They would even call her worse than him. Now, let me explain why these people are dead wrong. First of all, Anka is an adult, and all her characters that she drawn on that account are also adults. Second, she does not share the not safe for work content with minors, unlike that guy. And even the place where she has the link to that account, it says that it's 18 plus only. If you apparently found out about that account and despite of the warning still entered it as a minor, well, that is your problem. Comparing her to RB is very fucking awful, because that is basically not true. Maybe some people will talk about the female character's art that she posts on her YouTube channel, but there's also nothing wrong with that. Yes, some might seem quite suggestive, but it is not safe for work, and you should stop harassing her for that. Speaking of harassment, not only she has been getting that, but some other content creators too. Specifically, people who want to make their own fan-made version, being it a mod or scratch fan-made. And yes, I call them like that. You might not like it, but for me, the incredible scratch fan-mates are not mods. Not because of the quality they have, but because Incredible Scratch is a completely different thing from the actual Incredibox modding, on the technical level, and they should not be compared to each other in my opinion. Also, I really don't like how some people call the fan-made versions based on the game's code as professional mods. You know, there can be a bad Incredibox mod and professional-made Scratch fan-made. So calling them professional mods might undermine the Scratch fan-mades more than criticism towards them. So this is why I call the Incredible Scratch as fan-mades or projects, not mods. Just to separate them and not have any confusion between people. Because again, they both are using completely different engines and sources, and I would recommend you to do the same thing too. But that's your choice. I think I moved on from the topic. I just wanted to clarify some stuff. Let's get back to what I wanted to tell. There has been a lot of instances when someone makes a teaser for their new Incredibox fan-made project. It gets a lot of attention and people hype it up, which could give a big pressure on the developers that could lead to the final results being rushed or developers just feeling burned out because of the high expectations. Other reason being a lot of kids just asking for a release date, rushing them, or even harassing the developers because they are doing something else, not making the project they are hyped for. And because of that, one of such developers, Sepaz, the Sepbox creator, eventually just left the community for a while because of such pressure. Him being pretty young is also a thing that made me worried about it all. I have never seen such a big amount of people begging for a release date and rushing the developers. And, in my opinion, I feel like the big boost of Incredibox Scratch fan-made's popularity kinda damaged the community. Now, let me explain. Because of the tools that have been provided in Scratch, it has become much easier for people to create a fan-made that they had in mind, which would lead to an oversaturation of content varying degree. You cannot deny that it brought a lot of new followers to the community, but because of Scratch being made as a beginner's tool that would help teach the basics of programming and video game development, a lot of newcomers are mostly kids. Projects like Trivibox or Hack or in AO have become a big boom on YouTube because the topics of these two fanmates, silly memes and horror aesthetic, are pretty appealing towards the younger audience. And because of these kids, seeing a lot of new content being published on Scratch website almost every day, they would think that making fanmates is pretty easy. But making something good and quality takes a lot of time, and sadly, these people just don't care about it. They just need it, as soon as possible. So this is why sometimes these kids would just go and beg for release dates, rushing the developers, because they can't wait even a couple of weeks. Such projects as Vitsubox or another Orient 80 related project are being published within such a short amount of time that they make these people impatient for the projects that actually taking their time to deliver something good. And Box has actually been one of the good series on Scratch Incredibox that I actually care about. I don't think it's a complete masterpiece, and none of the fanmates should try to be it, but unlike a lot of Scratch fanmates, this one has effort put into it and tries to make something cool. And the actual mods have also suffered from the same harassment. And it's even worse, because the Incredibox mods are harder to work on and need more time. Which is why the Scratch has seemed to be more appealing for these kids, due to it publishing new things a lot more often. And because of that, some content creators, including me actually, have felt like what they do is not getting much attention as it should, and is not worth any time. The stuff that wasn't put any effort into would get more attention and talks than a project that took its time, and can honestly demotivate the content creator to do anything at all, and it would occasionally lead to them leaving the community. Ram actually have spoken about it on her community post. She also mentioned the issues I talked previously about kids asking for release dates and rushing her. And I hope with this video I will address all the injustice that has been happening with a lot of content creators, and I hope more people will pay attention to the projects that actually trying their best to deliver. You know, I can even give a shout out to some of the projects that I have been following. Project Karuk, a really interesting mod that has pretty nice designs and animations, quite promising. Blinding Lights, a mod that is taking a different spin on one of the most popular songs by The Weeknd. Time, yes, I know that it has been released, but it is currently a demo, so you can check it out and give your thoughts on it. Express, a mod that has one of the most coolest character designs I have seen. Walrus, another mod based on a song with the same name. I recommend you to give a check for these projects and support the creators, but do not beg for a release date. Oh boy, now we're getting to the most controversial part of the video. The most scariest thing in Incredibox community. None of the horror fanmates could be more scarier than this. The criticism. Now, the first thing I want to say is, at some point, I have been a part of the problem even though it happened unintentionally. You see, besides being one of the most known faces in the community, I have also been infamous for my reviews, quotation mark. Because for the most of time, the videos that you have seen are not actual reviews, but my first impressions. And let me tell you, I am very bad at expressing my opinions on a different language without a script. English is not my main language, so there can be moments when I write or say something that I initially thought does not sound offensive, but in reality it sounded rude or bad. And in these first impression videos, I have been more vocal about the issues that some parts might have, and for the positive stuff, I have been just sitting and enjoying it silently. So it would occasionally lead to some misunderstanding among the fans and the community, so much that it would occasionally hurt me. Even to the point when this misunderstanding could paint me in a bad way for some people, and even hurt my relationship with some of my friends in this community, who would think I'm an asshole all the time. And the thing is, I don't do that intentionally. I'm a very hot-headed person who would do some dumb shit and later would regret doing or saying it. And for that, I apologize if you had to experience such behavior from me and my occasional fuck-ups. Going back to modding topic, besides my first impressions, there has been instances when people would think, from what I say, that there are some rules that need to be followed in fanmates, like all the songs need to be a cappella, and etc. There are no creative rules in what you need to do with your project, and I did not want to mean it in my videos. You can do whatever you want. You don't need to impress or appeal to someone. including me. Please don't do that. My opinion is not a standard for what you need to do. If you want your fanmates to use electronic samples, sure. If you want to do a horror fanmate, your choice. All you need to do is just give it your all. And here's a simple advice. Just take your time to flesh out your ideas and plans fully. And if you see someone giving a genuine advice and criticism to your project, even if it's a constructive one, try to note it. These people just want to try to help you improve. It is not a personal attack on you. There can be just moments when they can express it in a different way that you might not understand or like it. Other thing I wanted to talk in this part is just how much toxicity people show when someone does not like their favorite fanmate. Specifically, I wanted to talk about the incredible Scratch community again. Because when it comes to giving genuine criticism to these projects, most of the time you are seen as a hater who can't enjoy stuff. Don't get me wrong, there can be a couple of really neat projects made in Scratch that actually deserve the attention, but most of the time, the majority of Scratch stuff is mediocre at best, or how it's popular to say, mid. And the thing is, most of these fanmates are made mostly by younger audience who never had an experience with making assets, music or coding and just wanted to do something fun. But people praise it so much, put it on a pedestal and call it a masterpiece without admitting its flaws. And that creates a pretty toxic environment where there's no place for improvement, where people who genuinely care about quality are getting shit on and disregarded. This issue is also prominent in Incredibox modding too, but in my opinion, Scratch has suffered from it more. So, in the end of this part, I want to address this to the community and content creators who make videos on Incredibox fanmates. Don't be afraid to speak out your likes and dislikes of something. And don't be afraid or dismiss other opinions that don't match with yours. Just try to stay civil and not attack anyone for a different opinion. In the end, I want to say that I love this community, but I cannot deny that in the span of almost 6 years I have been in it, it has recently been spoiled and damaged, and I don't want it to go down and turn into a toxic environment that some game communities have turned into. The point of this video was to address some issues that have been bothering me, to send a message. It is not an attack on someone specific. There are no specific people who ruin the community, and you should stop trying to find such. You should stop harassing and demonizing content creators who just want to share their creativity here. I wish nothing but the best for this community, and I want it to be better. And to make it better, we need to start from ourselves. I will try to be more specific in what I want to say, so that's why occasionally I will move on to doing actual reviews on fanmates, with script and more in-depth analysis. If your actions have been called out in this video too, it is not too late to fix that. Thank you for watching and see you soon.